Everyone has a gender identity and a sexual orientation, but these are not the same thing. When we're born, parents, the doctor, society at large will categorize you as either male or female based on the parts that you have. But that's not the same thing as your gender identity. Your gender identity is what lives in your mind and in your heart. It's how you see yourself. And all of those things are also different than your sexuality. You might think of your gender as who you go to bed as, and your sexuality as who you go to bed with.
You can never tell who is transgender, gender nonconforming, or non-binary in the room that you're in. Gender expansiveness and fluidity helps everyone, including cisgender people, because the gender binary and the rigid gender roles it produces is the primary reason for gender-based discrimination and violence.
Often when trans and non-binary individuals come out, they may change their name or their pronouns. And the best way to show support is to simply ask them what terms feel most affirming for them. In that way, you can show your support and show them that you do care about affirming their new identity and who they are.
What's really important in this stage of the process is that we are supported by our friends, family, or even a support group. Because in the year 2020, even though transgender and gender expansive people are very visible, we are not protected and we are not included in the conversation of what we actually need.
What does acceptance for trans and non-binary individuals look like? It can take so many different forms. Acceptance is fighting injustice at every turn. Acceptance is fighting housing discrimination, unemployment, poverty, and other issues that trans adults might be facing. Acceptance is supporting trans youth in schools by creating inclusive and welcoming environments. Acceptance is creating community resources that is accessible to all trans and non-binary individuals.
Acceptance looks like protecting transgender, gender nonconforming, and non-binary people. One such example is including pronouns in your introductions. If introductions start and pronouns are not being used, a cisgender ally can step in and request that they be used so no assumptions are made.
Many trans and non-binary individuals will attempt to come out at some point in their lives, and this takes so much bravery and resiliency. But unfortunately, often they are faced with rejection from their peers, family, coworkers, and other environments. And so the best way that we can show our support for the trans and non-binary community is by allowing them space to be free to be themselves, to develop their identities, and to build community together.
Ultimately, it comes down to the practice of believing people when they say who they are. Transgender and gender nonconforming and gender expansive people, when given acceptance and when they're valued in their communities, can go on to have healthy and fulfilling lives. Acceptance is protection.